Hi friends, welcome back to the Finding Sunshine podcast. So we actually have a special treat for you today. When Shelbs and I recorded, the nerves were kicking a little bit, and so we just decided to do a little debrief right after we recorded the episode, and it was so cool to see her after the podcast just truly open up, raw conversation, be herself, and I even got put in the hot seat for a minute. We love her. It was pretty long, so you'll see more of these pop up in the weeks to come. I'm also sorry about the audio. I promise I'm working on it. Thank you for bearing with me. So with all of that, I hope you enjoy. Debunked from that, because it's like the second that a camera's on us, the second that this microphone is on, we automatically we sit up straight and we're like, okay, who do we have to be? Like, how do we have to perform right now?
What do they want? What will cause the people to nod their heads in agreement and something like that?
Yes, and you know, give us that validation.
And we were also talking yesterday about how fun facts are just so hard. What is fun about Shloop? Like,
about me?
Know.
Yeah.
But if I were to sit here and talk about you, I could be like, she literally traveled the world on a cruise ship. She went to Tokyo. And then I compare my fun fact to someone who was in, like, a Drake music video. Or, like, someone whose fun fact was they traveled the world and fed the hungry or something. And I'm like, that's cool.
Let me just hide under my rock.
Yeah, right. I have a dog. And I dance a little bit. Like, I don't know. Is that fun? Like,
right.
But we limit ourselves for sure.
Yes, and we put ourselves and God in a box. And, like, the comparison game is just, it drives me up a wall.
I know. Yeah. When I start getting in my head about self-image or something, like, think about what Sydney would say about me. Think about what Kelsey would say about me, or G, or someone. Like, how would they say that to you?
Right.
Like, would I sit here and be like...
Right, like everything we say to ourselves.
Yeah. So...
That's good.
That's just a crazy change in perspective. And it's like, then also thinking of God, the Father, looking at his child. Can you think about your mom saying those things?
Right.
You know, it's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like... I don't know, it's sad. Because then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, but then I'm also sitting here like, Shelby, you're this, you're not this. You should, like, you don't have this. How are you? And it's sad. That's hard.
It's hard. And it, I mean, in the word, like, life and death are in the tongue. What you speak is what comes into existence. So you speak these things about yourself, you're not going to have confidence. Yeah. You're not going to, you're pushing yourself down instead of building yourself up. And that's something that I've been trying to get better at and debunking from performing and dance and all that. Right. And so, like, my biggest prayer lately has been, like, Lord, show me how you see me. Like, I want to see me like you do. Instead of looking in the mirror like, oh, girl, like saying all these horrible things.
No, for sure.
So messed up.
Question. When you leave either church or, like, a church gathering, whether that's a Bible study or something, do you feel different? Like, do you see the world different, or do you get a different feeling or sensation?
Oh, absolutely.
And, like, that was another thing I forgot to mention just about why, or because my brain was telling me more like, why are you following God? Like, why God? You know?
Yeah.
Because I can't think of life without God, so I couldn't answer the question, like, I forget what question it was, but this idea of when God's present and you can feel him and see him. Yes, he's omnipresent. He's always there. But this idea of, like, that sensation that you feel right when you leave church, or right when you prayed with someone, or right after a crazy encounter that God was literally there for, and you felt him, heard him, saw him. It's like, that feeling is unlike any other. And also, in that moment, I feel unstoppable. Because it's like, all those thoughts I'm thinking about usually, I'm sitting here like, what? Either so, or I'm not thinking about them, or just, I don't feel that. I'm like, it's so different, because when you're in that dark place, it's taking over you. And it's like, nobody can tell me a compliment that'll make me feel better. Nobody can sit here and say the whole, imagine your best friend telling you this. I'm like, me. Like, I don't know.
Literally.
But then it's like, after I have a little sprinkle of Jesus, or like I have a moment with those goosebumps that I was talking about, it's like, that's how I want to live my life every day.
Every second,
But that's what we're learning, and that's that proximity thing. That's, I'm in the closest God is here.
Yep.
Arm around him, hanging out, leaning on his shoulder when we at church. And then I leave church and I'm like slowly walk, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's where this walk, my walk with God, is like getting closer, because those further apart moments are becoming less and less.
I love that.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
But also like, just make them not happen, you know? I just don't want them to be there at all, because I want to be this confident, like, unstoppable Shelby all the time.
Yeah.
Because that radiates to everybody around you, too. And it'll draw people in, and that's where people... Because I know... Okay, another side story. I know we were talking about... what was it? Okay, so I have an insecurity because I don't know the Bible back and forth, and I, like, can't spew out verses or like tell someone. I also don't have the gift of like a calling to maybe pray over someone, or I don't have that, like,
and maybe not yet. It might be coming.
Who knows?
Right now,
you're left and right. Boom, boom. No, just kidding. But I think my gift is just a light. I think I like picture this aura of, I've never told anyone this before, so
I love it.
It's just funny, but I picture this aura of light shining.
I love
and that's kind of like my gift.
Yes.
That I give to other people, because it's natural. I can't emphasize enough like how it's not forced. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be someone, because one of the things I've never been able to do is like kiss booty, you know, like kiss butt, or like I don't know, change myself in order to be more like someone. I just can't. And so it just comes naturally for me to walk into a room and create a light. And I know in those times when I'm in that dark place, I feel like I'm not doing that, even though I might still be nice.
Right.
That's in my character. But it's like so much harder to exude happiness, I guess, for me personally. But this sensation of when my light is shining to the max, and I think people feel more drawn to speak to me. I think people are like, oh, I like your outfit. And I'm like, that's a compliment, because my outfit is, as another gift from God, is just fashion. I love fashion.
Oh, yeah, so you girl.
That's just
you got it.
I don't know, it's just little things like that. I don't know how to explain it. It's just...
Yeah.
You can... When God's around, when God is there and you feel him and stuff, it's just a whole different experience.
It's so, yes, and you crave it.
Yeah.
And like that's where I'm in, the point where I'm at is I'm like like I'll feel filled, you know, and I have that confidence, and I'm like, wow, I never want to, you know, step away, whatever. And then even in just like a day or two, a week goes by, and I'm still praying, I'm still doing my thing, you know, but I'm not as plugged in. You feel it.
Yes.
And
it changes everything.
And then the thoughts start to come back in, and this or that. And that's why, like, I mean, I've gotten a little intense with my walk. Like, anytime there's an event, I'm like, I'm going, because I know that that's what I need, like, for my mental space. And we all crave it. Like, God wants us to be close to him. Yeah. That's all of our desires. We just try to feel it in different ways if we don't know God, or if we, you know, stepped away from God or whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wild.
It is. God is so good.
So good.
So how would you say, and now I'm asking you questions.
Oh.
How would you say your walk, like, because I think it's hard to sit here and summarize my walk with God, right? Because that's almost 30 years of trying to sum it up. And it's like, grew up in a Christian family. Like, I've always had God in my life. But, like, to be real, I feel like I would need to be last year, like for a year, talk about your proximity with God, because that's kind of easier for me to sum it up, and I can give you examples and tell you exactly how it's changed and stuff, and the battles I've been through. But like, so in the last year, how would you say your walk with God has changed? And if it's not a year, if it was more drastic, like 2 years ago or something, like what was that turning point, I guess, for you?
Oh, that's funny because I was going to do an episode on this specifically. Okay. So I'll just do it now. I came home from a contract in Tokyo, and I was at a point where I was like, okay, is this the time where I walk away from dance and performing? Like, I was just not in the best space, I guess. Like, I just didn't know what the next step was in my life, whether that was like continuing contracts or it was just a big question mark. And so I came home, and Pittsburgh was never, ever on the list of places for me. I grew up here outside of Pittsburgh, but I was like, no, you'll never catch me here. It sounds horrible because it is a great place. Yeah. But in my mind, I was just like, this is not the place for me. Mm-hmm. And I was so stubborn about it. And so I came back, and they were like, what's the next step, Kels? Like, like everyone, I think I was always chasing to the cool story, the cool job, like putting my identity in the wrong places, girl. Mm-hmm. And so God really put me in a timeout season, and that's what I'm currently in, and I am so thankful. But at first, I pushed back so hard because I was like, no. Like, I came home, and I immediately was like, okay, where can I go? And my friends were living in Florida, and they were like, why don't you go work for Disney in Florida? And I was like, great. That's where I'm going. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, that was my plan, didn't ask God. I was like, this is my plan. And I was getting a little bit deeper in my faith at that point. But I had my eyes fixed on that. And an apartment popped up, and I was like, oh, perfect. Like, everything's lining up. I went down, I auditioned for something. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is the next step. And everyone was nice. They're very supportive. They're like, yes, great. We hate to see you leave, but we support you. And then the one night, I just was feeling a little type of way inside. I was like, I like the idea of this move. Mm-hmm. Let me pray about it. I've never done that, but I want to make sure that I'm in line with what God wants for my life, type of thing. And I've never done that before. It was always like, I'm going to do this. Lord, can you bless it? Take the wheel. Right. Yeah. And of course, with those stories, because I was just paving my own way, we hear it a lot, do you, do your own thing, whatever's going to make you happy, this or that. And it sounds nice. It sounds good and positive, and it means well. And I did that. But at the end of the day, if you're not connecting with God and asking Him for His will, and you're outside of that, you're going to be feeling left empty. All of those horrible thoughts, things that you will start battling, things that shouldn't be in the cards for you. And then you ask God, where are you at? Why am I going through this or that? But it was your choices, type of thing. Anyways, back to the story.
Go on.
So one night I decided, I just felt led. I was like, all right. And I prayed so hard. I'm talking on my knees. I was praying so hard. I was like, Lord, I said, if this isn't your will, show me. But I want whatever you have for me, I want. But right now, for whatever reason, I'm thinking I'm moving to Florida. It was a surrender thing. I'm giving it to you, and you let me know. Girl, did he let me know. 20 minutes later.
Oh, wow.
All of my plans for Florida fell through. Like that.
Wow.
And I just started hysterically laughing. And my parents are you good? I was like, God's funny. God's funny. He's not playing. Yeah. And yeah, they all fell through like that. And I was like, surely you're not going to have me stay in Pittsburgh.
It's a plot twist.
Huge plot twist. So then I was like, okay, I hear ya. Great. Thanks for letting me know. And then the next day I was telling my grandma, I went over, told her what happened. She was like, oh, you're staying? I was like, it was really cute though. She, I think so. And on the drive home, I prayed again like that. Obviously not, I was driving, so it couldn't be too dramatic. Right. But when I got home, my friend calls me, and it was for a company that I worked for before when I lived in LA. And I just didn't think I would, it wasn't in my brain that I would be back there. So she called, and she's talking to me, and she's like, hey, do you need a job? Oh. Yeah, literally on the drive home. That happened when I got home. I was like, funny that you asked that, but like, what are we talking? Like, what's the job? And she goes, it's a remote job. Wow. And I was like, wow. I was like, all right, I'm open to hearing more about it. And then next thing led to the next, she's like, we'll have an interview process and just see how it goes. But she's like, I think you'd be great for it. And I was like, thank you so much for thinking of me. Like, the fact that it's a remote job is crazy. Mm-hmm. And then so the interview was 3 days from then. So in that time, told my parents, and I was like, okay, I'm going to just pretend like everything worked out. I got this job. I'm going to look for apartments with the mindset that I got the job. So we went and we looked for apartments. One thing led to another. And I wasn't supposed to see this one, which we're sitting in right now. Okay. And walk through that I was supposed to do fell through. I was like, why don't we just go across the river and look at this one? It seems a little too high of price, but let's just go look at it. Mm. We literally, and I was like praying on the way there, whatever. We walk through, and my mom and I look at each other, and we immediately are like, I think this is it. Like, we both just felt it. Like, it felt like the right move, whatever. So we walk through, we look at this apartment. It just feels like home. I was like, this is crazy. Pittsburgh? Like, the whole time I'm like, you're not going to make me stay here. Yeah. And then they said the number for this apartment. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, Lord. I said, if this is the apartment, like, I would need this amount of money to realistically be able to live here, mm-hmm. feed myself. Right. It seems like a stretch. It seems crazy, but you're a big God. I'm not going to put you in a box. And prayed about it, told my parents. They were laughing at me because I wrote down a number, and I was like, I'm believing for this number. Like, yeah. And had the interview, went good. They were like, what number are you thinking? And I didn't give the big number. I did a little more realistic one. Okay. And they were like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And they even offered me a little bit more than what I said. And it was very, very close. $100, $50 away from the big number that I said. Yeah. And my mom was like, well, you have your answer. And I was like, uh-huh. It's like, that's a big commitment, a whole year. It was like 15 months or something. Mm-hmm. So got the apartment, which was crazy. At the time, too, before I got that job, I didn't have a job at the time, but I still was tithing. So I was still, like, tithing is, giving money to the church, every week type of thing. And we can dive into that whole talk later. But it's so cool when you do obey things, that are in the Bible that he says. And, like, one of those is tithing. That's the only thing he says to test him with. And so I didn't have a job, but I kept tithing my money that I did have, like the savings I had. Landed that job. And then I started tithing more because, the job was good money. And not long after that, I got a little bit of a raise. And then I got a bonus. And it's just so cool to see how God, in your obedience, how he moves. And I am so grateful. This is a very long story of what you asked the question, but like, I am so incredibly grateful that he put me in a timeout season because I was performing. I was doing all these things to, like, moving, traveling, doing all these cool things, living this life that I enjoyed, using gifts that I had to sitting at a desk, not being around people in a remote job, living alone, which I love, but it can get lonely, and just not using my gifts, feeling overlooked, just in a season of feeling like I'm in a box. But I was doing the most important thing in these past 2 years, and that was getting closer to God. And like how it has changed my walk and honestly has changed my life has been so cool. Awesome. Shelbs, like, that's so good. And it all started from me asking and saying that one prayer of like, I want your will, just show me. And I didn't understand Pittsburgh at first because I don't want to be here. Right. But now I actually love it. He really showed me, and that was part of it too. I was like, well, Pittsburgh doesn't have this, it doesn't have this. And then he showed me one by one everything I said. He was like, oh, and here's this studio where you can go take classes. Oh, here's salsa dancing. Like everything that I thought I couldn't have here. A girl group, and I have such a strong girl group here. Right. And he just moved in my life because I kept my eyes fixed on him in ways that are just crazy. And then it led me to be here doing this. Like, do you think I would ever grab a mic and start talking? I grew up as a dancer.
I'm proud of you. Here she is.
Here we are.
Right.
And it's exciting. Yeah. It's like, what is he going to do next?
It's crazy what he reveals to you.
Yes.
Through that. It's like through the times of, I'm going to take this away from you. Or see how you react to this.
Yes.
And see the blessings that he gives you as you get closer to him. It's incredible.
Yeah. The performing, the dancing, the traveling. Like, I just would always run to those things to fill me.
Yeah.
And he had to, because I'm stubborn, strip those away so that I would actually be secure in him, keep my eyes fixed on him.
Yeah.
And, like, it has changed me from the inside out. Like, things that I've struggled with, I found freedom from.
Right.
It is crazy. And I just continue walking in that.
Yeah.
It's hard to change your life and change your perspective on things. But I have more joy right now and not using my gifts and not doing all these big, crazy things. I am so filled than when I was traveling and when my life looked so cool.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, girl, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
I hope you guys enjoyed a little more of our conversation. I got a little bit passionate, but I hope that you were able to take something away from this conversation today and be able to go into your day feeling inspired and hopeful. Remember, if he did it for someone else, he'll surely do it for us too. Thanks again for listening. I'm glad you're here and have the best day. Sunshine.